Polestar is really making moves with their cool Precept concept car. They're giving it the green light for production, and guess what? It's getting a new name, the Polestar 5. This sleek four-door hatchback is set to hit the streets around 2024, but is it worth the money? Now, when it comes to competition, the Polestar 5 means business. It's going head-to-head with the heavyweights like the Porsche Taycan, the Tesla Model S, the Lucid Air, and the Mercedes-Benz EQS. These big names better watch out. Even though Polestar has been a bit hush-hush about the details, we do know some exciting stuff. Picture this: dual electric motors bringing out a whopping 884 horsepower, a driving range that's super competitive, think at least 300 miles, and eco-friendly materials on the inside. And guess what? They're even planning to set up a carbon-neutral factory in China just to make the Polestar 5. Based on the ultra-cool Precept concept, this Polestar 5 is like a whole new chapter for the brand. When it finally hits the market, it's going to be their top-of-the-line model, and yes, it's launching in 2024. Mark your calendars. When the Precept concept made its online debut in 2020, people went wild for it. The head honcho at Polestar North America even pushed the higher-ups to turn it into a real production car. Fast forward a bit, and now it's officially called the Polestar 5. Fancy name, right? This upcoming electric four-door beauty will be the flagship for the brand, and they're gearing up to start making it in 2024. Now, they're keeping some things under wraps, but we do know a few exciting tidbits. They're bringing over some top-notch drivetrain and chassis tech from the Precept concept, and they're all about sustainability. The interior is going to be decked out with eco-friendly materials like flax, recycled cork, and even reclaimed fishing nets. Yep, you heard that right. And inside, there's room for 4 people in those super cool captain's chairs. But wait, there might be an option for a bench seat in the back too. And storage? No worries. There are 2 trunks, one in the back like a regular car, and a smaller one up front. Now, let's talk about its technology. The dashboard is rocking a massive 15-inch touchscreen for all your infotainment needs. It's standing tall in the center, and it's running on the latest Polestar software. And that's not all. There's another 12.5-inch screen that can change its display, and even smaller monitors on the doors that act like side mirrors. How much of this will actually make it into the final product? Well, that's still a mystery, but the exterior camera system might just stay. And did I mention how sleek this car looks? It's got that futuristic vibe, and it's seriously roomy. It's almost 7 feet wide and a whopping 17 feet long. That's one big sedan. To make sure it's a top performer, Polestar is getting some help from former folks at Lotus, Jaguar Land Rover, and Aston Martin. These folks know their stuff, having worked on high-performance projects like the Eviha, Elettra, I-Pace, and Valhalla. Now, here's the cool part for tech enthusiasts. Polestar's pulling out all the stops to keep this car light and nimble. They've cooked up their very own lightweight bonded aluminum chassis just for the Polestar 5. This thing is super rigid, which means better handling and performance. And while the Precept's fancy doors had to go, the new sedan's traditional front-hinging doors are here to keep things strong and sturdy. Polestar dropped some news about their new electric ride, the 5. They're calling its electric motor the P10, and they're claiming it's going to give out a whopping 50% more power than a Porsche Taycan's motor. They're shutting down the rumors that the P10 cranks out 600 horsepower, or even a crazy 872 horsepower when it's in that popular dual-motor all-wheel drive setup. But here's the thing, we can't really say for sure that Polestar won't go all wild and put a motor on each wheel, turning the 5 into an absolute beast of an EV with almost hypercar-like performance. Now, the Precept concept was Polestar's way of saying they're all about cutting-edge tech and being green in the world of electric cars. They've used all sorts of cool recycled stuff like plastic bottles, fishing nets, and even cork-based vinyl for the carpets, seats, and dash. And check this out, the big touchscreen in the middle isn't just any touchscreen. Polestar's calling it the human-machine interface, and it's all about tracking your hands, fingers, and even your eyes. Fancy, right? They're bringing over some snazzy Android automotive apps and displays from the current Polestar 2. And that LiDAR thingamajig on the roofline of the Precept? Well, it's going to be in the Polestar 3 too, and now in the 5. It's going to make the car smarter and safer on the road, moving towards self-driving. Now, when it comes to the big competition, Polestar's aiming high. They want to take on the Tesla Model S, Porsche Taycan, Lucid Air, and even the fancy Audi RS e-tron GT and Mercedes-AMG EQS. Their plan? Build a car that's light and smooth through the air so you're not worried about running out of juice. They're shooting for a range of around 400 to 450 miles. But if they can beat the Lucid Air Dream Edition R with its 520 miles, well, that's even better. The all-wheel drive Polestar 5 can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just over 2 seconds. And if you're in a rush, you can juice it up from 10% to 80% in under 30 minutes. To keep up with the competition, they might even toss in a 2-speed transmission, kind of like how the Taycan and RS e-tron GT roll. Polestar wants everyone to know they're serious about being green. In 2021, they will cut emissions by 6% for each car they sell, and they're planning to crank up that number over the next 10 years. They're even using some high-tech blockchain stuff to keep an eye on where their minerals come from. Oh, and those fancy Spaces stores they've got? They're steering people towards buying their cars online. And check this out, the O2 concept they just showed off? More of that cool, unique stuff they're into, showing they're not just another Volvo or Geely. So keep your eyes peeled for the 2024 Polestar 5. When is the Polestar 5 going to be available? Polestar plans to start making the 5 by late 2024. Earlier reports said they might produce around 11,000 units by the end of that year and then deliver 30,000 more in 2025. The pandemic and supply chain issues might lead Polestar to make the 5 outside China, which is a big change from before. This is a huge difference compared to the original Polestar 1 Hybrid GT flagship, which stopped production this year after only making 1,500 units in total. But the 5 is still just a small part of Polestar's goal to sell 290,000 vehicles by 2025 when they add the 3 and 4 crossovers to the existing 2 and upcoming 5 sedans. How much will the Polestar 5 cost? The top-level Polestar 5 models that are expected to come out first will likely cost more than $100,000. The Polestar 1 started at $155,000, but this new high-end all-wheel drive, all-electric sedan might be closer to $200,000, similar to Lucid Air's Dream Edition and Porsche's Taycan Turbo S. Later models with less range and power, possibly even with just a single electric motor in the front, could be around $75,000, similar to a base Model S. By then, Polestar's lineup of electric cars might not qualify for federal tax credits anymore. The Polestar 5 has some great features that show it's a cutting-edge electric car. It can go up to 450 miles on a single charge, which is really impressive. It's made with a lightweight aluminum chassis as you find in smaller sports cars, and it has the easy-to-use Android automotive system from the Polestar 2, which makes driving it even better. But there are some downsides to the Polestar 5. It's a big step forward in electric car technology, but it might be too expensive for some people, especially when you compare it to the cheaper Polestar 2. Also, they decided not to use the cool carriage-style doors from the Precept concept, which could disappoint fans who liked that unique design. Plus, there's some uncertainty about how good the electric motor is, since there are reports that haven't been confirmed. This might affect how well the car performs and what features it has. Safety is a big focus, though. The Precept concept car showed that it might have advanced driver assistance features, maybe even self-driving when the 2024 Polestar 5 comes out. You can find crash test information on NHTSA and IIHS websites. It's expected to have stuff like automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, alerts if you leave your lane, and adaptive cruise control that can drive the car semi-autonomously. If you think the Polestar 5 is too sporty for your taste, perhaps the Polestar 3 is the perfect fit for you. Discover all its features and what sets it apart in our in-depth review on our video about the Polestar 3. See you there!